You've probably heard the phrase sleep on it 1,000 times, right? Well, it turns out it's way more than just a casual saying. It's actually a super powerful tool for making better decisions. Today, we're going to dive into exactly how it works and why you should be using it. So here's the game plan. We'll kick things off with that all too familiar feeling of being stuck in a huge decision. Then we'll introduce our star phrase, get into the science of what's happening in your brain, and I'll even give you a practical guide. After that, we'll see it in action and wrap it all up. We have all been there. You're staring down a choice that feels absolutely massive. Every option seems like it could change everything. And the right path forward? It's just not clear at all. Seriously, think about it for a second. Maybe it was a new job offer, a big move across the country, or even a major purchase. That feeling of being totally and completely stuck, well, that's exactly where our story begins. But what if, when you're feeling that stuck, the absolute best thing you can do is nothing? Just stop. That's the whole idea behind one of the simplest, yet most powerful, decision-making tools we have. So what does it really mean to sleep on it? Well, at its core, it's about consciously hitting the pause button. It's you deciding to step away from all that immediate pressure and just give your mind the space it needs to breathe and do its thing. And listen, this isn't just a fancy way to procrastinate. There is a fascinating, strategic process going on inside your brain when you decide to wait overnight. Okay, this is where the real magic happens. While you're sleeping, or even just doing something else, your subconscious mind is in the background, chipping away at the problem. It's kind of like a background app on your phone, quietly organizing files, spotting new connections, and looking at the problem with all the noise and anxiety of your conscious thoughts. And the results of letting that happen, they're incredible. You essentially pull all that high-stakes emotion out of the equation. And emotion is what usually clouds our judgment, right? That's why you can literally wake up with a fresh perspective, a feeling of calm, and the ability to make a much more rational, clear-headed choice. So how do we actually use this in the real world? Because knowing when to use this strategy is just as important as knowing what it is. It's definitely not a one-size-fits-all solution. Okay, think of it like this. This is your go-to tool for those huge life decisions. A new job, buying a house, especially when you feel overwhelmed or pressured. But on the flip side, you're going to want to avoid it when you're up against a tight deadline or for tiny decisions like what to eat for lunch. That's just overkill. And to really get why this is so valuable, just think about the opposite. Phrases like making a snap decision or acting on impulse. They all describe choices made in the heat of the moment without any real thought. That's the exact thing sleeping on it helps you avoid. All right, so theory is great, but let's see what this actually looks and sounds like in a real conversation. This is where it all clicks. So here's Sarah. She's facing a classic dilemma, right? An awesome opportunity, but it comes with a huge personal sacrifice. She's feeling torn, she's stressed. You can just feel the pressure in her voice. And then Mark comes in with the perfect advice. Notice he isn't telling her what to do. He's just giving her permission to pause. He's taking the pressure off and suggesting she approach it with a clear head tomorrow. That's just such a supportive and wise thing to do. All right, let's do a quick knowledge check here. When you tell someone to sleep on it, what's the real goal? What are you trying to accomplish? Yep, that's it exactly. It's all about intentionally creating that space for reflection. It's that time out that lets you separate your feelings from the facts so you can see things clearly. Okay, one more for you. This time, let's think about context. In which of these situations would telling someone to sleep on it be, well, pretty bad advice? Of course, picking a coffee shop is a super low-stakes choice. Using a powerful tool like this for something so minor would be like using a sledgehammer to crack a nut. You save this for the decisions that really matter. So, as we start to wrap this up, let's boil it all down to the one key idea I really want you to walk away with. Here it is, sleeping on it is an active strategy, not a passive one. You're not avoiding the decision. You're actively working to make a better one. You're giving the choice the time and respect it truly deserves. And that brings me to you. What's on your mind right now? Is there a big decision you've been wrestling with? Maybe the best move isn't to force an answer today. Maybe it's just to sleep on it.